This is Brenda Starr with BackStage360. We're here at the Hilton, just outside of the NAMM convention, and I'm here with two of the guys from 7 Days Away. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, Brenda?
Doing very well, thank you.
Good, good. So I'd like for you guys just to give us a little bit of history on the band, and I know that you have an upcoming album, so who would like to talk about that first?
The band is originally from Connersville, Indiana, formed in 2003. In 2008, the song Take Me Away was featured in Marvel's Punisher Warzone. It was a competition held by Lionsgate movies, and they actually won. We won for the best song for a single, just to be placed on the actual album of the soundtrack. So with that, it sprung our career a little forward, and then 2012 up Rockstar Energy Uproar Festival winners, and then just recently, we're playing with Powerman and opening up for larger acts and just relocated to California, and yeah. So and we're actually newer. We've been in the band for 2.5 years now. So the guys before us, they laid a lot of the groundwork, and we had to fill some big shoes from the previous albums, but this is our first album with the band, and which is out pretty soon. At the end,
February,
early spring. So, but band's been around for a long time. I mean, pretty long, over a decade. So
developed a huge following in Indiana, and then decided, what, let's go to California. Seems to where everybody makes their name for themselves.
And now here you're at NAMM.
Yeah.
With ESP Guitars. Yeah. Thank you, ESP.
Yeah.
Very good. So a shout out to ESP.
Shout out to ESP for sure, for believing in our band, as well as many other people who have showed their support for this band. Like Solon, you have Mesa Amplifiers, you have Affliction Clothing. There's so many people. Who else is there?
Yeah. We just we've been with Mesa and ESP for a little close to 1.5 years now, almost 2 years. And Mesa takes care of us, ESP takes care of us. I mean, they're really great sponsors, and they're the reason we're here today at NAMM and enjoying the festivities. Yep. So
excellent.
In the rain.
All right. So for somebody who maybe is listening and who's not familiar with your music, how would you describe your music?
I would describe it as, it's definitely hard rock, but it's got more of a modern influence. The newer stuff, at least. As far as the older stuff, it sounds like a little bit of like Breaking Benjamin, Seven Dust. If you're into that kind of music, hard rock, just straight up hard rock, yeah. But now with the newer album, we've kind of branched. We've kind of evolved a little bit with them, and we're trying to make a new sound. And I think that the sound of the new album it definitely has a lot of hints of that hard rock, but it's definitely very modern, and it's definitely something we're very excited about to put out. And just to finally, it's been a long work to do it. It's been a long process to make the album, but we're very proud of it. We can't wait for everybody to hear it. It's very exciting.
Excellent.
Spent about 1 year on it, really just putting it all together and making sure everything's perfect on it. That's about the only thing you can perfect. Is I think in life would be just music. You want it to be perfect when it comes out, so people just.
We all worked very hard to make a living, and what it all comes down to is to support our love for music. It's a very real love and a very real passion to do this. To work 12 hours a day, get off, and boom, go to practice for 3 hours, and wake up the next day after 4 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep. Yeah. It's very.
And that comes across in your music when you listen to it.
Definitely.
It does. There's a lot of heart and soul and tears in there, right? Yeah.
And fighting.
Yeah.
No, we all get along great.
Somebody else's tears. No.
Except for that one time.
Except for that one time.
All right. Okay. Well, so tell people how they can follow the band, and I don't think I introduced you. So tell your name and your instrument. And
my name's Art. I'm lead guitar.
And I'm Kody, and I play drums.
And how do we follow the band?
7 Days Away official on Instagram.
On Instagram, Facebook, 7 Days Away. Official. Yeah, I think it's official.
Facebook.
Also YouTube. 7DA TV. Yeah. 7daysaway.com. You can
Yeah.
go there. Reverb Nation 7 days away. I mean, you just Google our name and you'll find us definitely.
But number 7.
Number 7.
Seven.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for
Thank you for having us.
stopping by. And this is Brenda Starr for Backstage 360. Thanks so much. This is Brenda Starr with Backstage 360. We're here at the Hilton Hotel just outside of NAMM, and I'm here with Wes Geer. How you doing?
Great, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. Now, Wes, if you're familiar with Wes, he's had quite a musical career. He was a guitar player for Head PE, and he also toured the world with KORN, right? What years were you doing music?
Well, Head PE got a record deal in '97, I think, and I think I left that around 2003, and then didn't pick up the KORN gig until 2009, I believe, and did that until 2013. So I had a little time off there. Yeah.
Well, you were busy reinventing yourself for the next stage of your life and all the people that you're helping. Wes has a nonprofit that he leads. He's the founder and leader of Rock to Recovery, and music is medicine. Tell us, how is music medicine?
Well, that thing you said a second ago, I was rebuilding myself. The years that I was out of music, I was basically trying not to die. I had a horrible drug habit and drinking habit that I got to develop over years of touring. I actually got the first record deal with Head PE after years of doing a lot of drugs, and so it was just something that plagued me my whole life. So I ended up in a rehab is what happened, because I couldn't stop on my own. Some people can. That's not my story. I definitely needed a lot of help. And you know, when you're a musician and you leave the industry, it can be often hard to get back, and I wasn't really interested in getting in another band and getting in a van and driving around. I figured if I was going to go back, I wanted to be at a high level. So I just did this program of recovery, and then KORN asked me to come play with them after a couple years of me being sober, and I got to go tour with them for a few years. But while I was doing that, and I had left Head PE and then got back with KORN, I was like, you know, music gigs don't usually last forever. What am I going to do? I'm going to die at some point. What's my legacy going to be? And I feel like there's plenty of guitar players out there, and I felt like I wanted to do something to give back. And so it was kind of like, instead of feeling sorry for myself, like I'm a musician, it's such a struggle, and I'm sober, and what a tough life, is like, well, how do I help people with music and with, you know, sobriety and stuff? So I founded Rock to Recovery, which the idea was to bring the therapeutic elements of playing music to non-musicians. And what we know is that when people listen to music, you know, half the brain lights up, but there's almost nothing that is like music when you play it, in that it lights up your entire brain. It does organically for brain chemistry what, my phone's ringing. It does organically for brain chemistry what antidepressant meds do, what mood stabilizing meds do, what anti-anxiety meds do. It helps with endorphins, and this is just the act of playing music. And you don't have to be Jimi Hendrix, you know, and to access this kind of uplifting therapy that we get when we play. So basically we'll go into a treatment center, or we work with wounded warriors, and we take people who've never played before and we show them how to play, and in one session we'll write and record a song. And most people can't believe they've done it. And what happens is we get them singing, and singing gets you to release oxytocin in your brain. That's probably why all the sailors and, you know, we've always had singing, right? Even the Army sings as they're marching around. It's just been something we do, singing as a group. And that actually releases oxytocin in your brain, which is called the love molecule by scientists. It's released after childbirth, when you breastfeed, which I haven't done, and after you have sex, and when you hug somebody for 20 seconds. So in any type of situation when people are feeling, you know, beaten down, maybe it's PTSD, maybe they came back from serving in Iraq, or they're trying to beat a heroin addiction, whatever it is, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, mental health, the place you end up is very much the same. You feel alone, you feel lost, you feel unloved, you feel hopeless, you feel like you can never feel good again. And what happens is by getting them to sing and play music, suddenly you see them. I've literally seen girls go from crying before the session to laughing and full of joy after the session. And you know, in the Chinese, their language, medicine and music, the symbols are almost identical. Because they felt medicine was for the physical body and music was medicine for the spiritual body. And I think we as a society have really forgot a lot of that stuff. You know, we talk about like meditation and stuff like that, and diet and health and exercise, and it's like, oh, new age. It's like, it's not new age at all. It's what we've been doing a long time. And so that's really been the goal of our organization, is to proliferate the use of the magic of music and let people who are not in a band get the uplifting, therapeutic, like magical benefits from it.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's probably hard not to be present when you're writing and playing, right? That's gets them into the present so they
Brings
can
them into the moment.
release the trauma of the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the same way I used to feel like cocaine overpowered all these other drugs, that's how I feel music does for emotions. Mm-hmm. We have a saying, we say, bring your problems and give them to the music. There's a lot of times, you know, we work with wounded vets, and these guys and gals, they want to kill themselves. They're disassociated from society and they feel lost and whatever. But all of a sudden they have hope again. And it's hard to fathom. Like when we started, we didn't even realize it. But I had a guy the other day, we were in San Antonio on the joint base out there. A guy came up to me, a serviceman, and he started crying. And his wife also served in the military and did tours of Iraq. And he started crying, and he goes, you know, once my wife came back from service, that light was out of her eyes. She was not happy. She wasn't the woman I fell in love with and married. And we got her singing and playing in our groups. And so at the end of the session, he came up to me and he started crying and said, thanks for giving me my wife back. She looks like she's the woman I married again. And it's incredibly powerful and transformative.
That's awesome. So how is Rock to Recovery funded?
Well, Rock to Recovery, we have a for-profit entity where we charge people like rehab centers that can afford to pay, and then I've been diverting cash from there into our nonprofit. And so we've been kind of self-funded on our own. But this year we had our first fundraiser ever at the Fonda in LA, which had Fred Durst and Chester Bennington and Mark McGrath and Steve Stevens and Billy Morrison from Billy Idol. I mean, we had all these rock stars come out and play and help raise money for our nonprofit. But we accept donations, and we'll continue to have these events every year. We have online eBay auctions of like a bass that was signed by all those rad people that I just mentioned. We'll have I'll give you a link for that. Okay. We're going to auction off some gear that was signed by rock stars. So that's how we've been doing it now. We're just trying to grow the nonprofit side, because we want to really reach all these VAs and all these veterans out there that are just kind of feeling lost. Right. And we work with the VA in Brentwood, and we're going to start with the Army, and it just keeps growing. We started doing our first session in 2013, and since then, now we're bringing on our 11th guy, and we do 350 sessions every month. 350 sessions every month. And we have about 10 people in each session, so you figure we're reaching about 3,500 people every month with this program.
Wow. So what do you need? Do you need people to donate funds? Do you need musicians to volunteer their time? How could someone that's listening right now, how could they help? Do you have a wish list or?
Yeah, well, I think the great thing we can do is we have our Facebook page, which is Rock to Recovery. It's T-O, Rock, T-O, Recovery. And if you go there and like the page, here's our logo. If you go there and like the page, and if you want to help, you can always share and say, hey, I like this organization, and share it on your page and bring more awareness to the organization. That helps. Again, you can always donate via our website. You can volunteer to help us out with any of our events. But I think if you connect with us through Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and kind of join our army and become part of the movement, we'll figure out what the what your role is down the road, right? When it reveals itself to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll put all the links and everything on there so people can follow all the great work. I can't give you enough credit. That's just
Thank you.
awesome. You totally turned your life around. Good
Thanks.
job. Good
Yeah,
job.
thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Oh, yeah. Okay.